to spill too much beans on what exactly is Robo Advisor or Pentype does. Because as I mentioned earlier, today we are very delighted to have our two key people who are the mover and the shakers in the wealth management arena. With that, ladies and gents, please welcome the CEOs of Pentype, Yong Ning, and our Chief Marketing Officer, Vicky Teo, to be joining us as this session, as well as I'll be getting up close and personal with them.
No time to invest. Every day busy on working, finding time for your family. But time go fast. You spend a lot of time struggle how to grow your wealth. Is Robo Advisor, the robo that invests for you. The future technology present by Pentype. It is the first robo marketplace in the world. Start from 300,000 plus Robo Advisor that can help you to invest to make money. Each robo is unique, specialized in different field. You can unlock this technology with 3 simple steps. First, you download the apps. Then, you deposit your money. Third, you choose a robo. Then the robo will start working. It will start to invest for you. Fully automate. Join us today. Invest into the future of AI technology.
Well, there you go. That is a video definitely gave us a quick summary of what really Pentype is all about. So here we are today. So we have our CEO and CMO looking very sharp, Yong and Vicky. Welcome to the show.
Hi guys.
How are you guys feeling?
Well, good.
All right, I know you guys have been
doing?
extremely busy, working tirelessly, to be where you are. I also heard some good news as well of where Pentype is right now. Now, I'm sure today there are a lot of viewers who are watching and probably didn't follow of what happened during the first episode. So now, Yong and Vicky, today's session is all going to be just all eyes on the both of you. Everyone is just going to glue to the both of you. So really, people want to get to know you guys better and to understand just beyond than what this platform can do. But of course, more importantly, is that both of you as the founders, as the key founders of the company. So Yong, could you share with us how Pentype is first started?
Oh, this is actually a very interesting story. Basically all the businesses start with a vision. And then the vision that is actually about a very simple question. Just like, let me just ask you a question after. So a very simple question that I want to ask you. Do you believe that AI will be the future trend?
Yes, of course. It's already happening
Yep.
right now.
Yep, me too. And then I myself is an investor for more than 10 years. And then I actually making a bread and butter through investment. And in this 10 years time, I pay a lot of time to study, to learn, to make money from the market. And then after 10 years of time, if one day I ask myself is actually about, I actually able to be a success investor. But if you ask me one day my children ask me, Daddy, do you have any society contribution? Then my answer is actually no. So actually, after 10 years of hard working, what can I actually bring to society? What can I actually raise
what
the
I'm
team?
hearing, you are successful investors. What kind of range of return of investment is that you are making for yourself for the
Well,
last 10
by
years?
average is around 30% per annual. And
Wow.
it's actually beat a lot of people here.
Wow. That's crazy.
But not easy to do that. Really not easy to do that. It's really a lot of hour to actually to achieve that.
So you have been achieving, on a consistent basis. Of course, in order for you to make 30% as a ROI, you also paid a huge tuition fees of where your achievement is. I mean, we wouldn't want to talk the tuition fees because I can imagine that. So Yong, you're telling me that you have entered the next chapters of your life to actually add values, to the society, to really make a big difference to society. How, Yong?
Well, you see, a lot of actually the investment job, the investment analysis job, at least 70% are repeat. And then can we actually use technology to reduce the repeat work? Or even furthermore, can we make AI to serve people in investment? And the answer definitely is yes. If our team can do it, why don't we really work very, very hard to really bring something valuable for the people who never come into investment before. It's very simple. It's actually like to become a success investor, I go through 10 years time to prove that myself is a profitable investor. But do I want my children to actually go through the same process? Do I want everyone in the society to really go through the same progress? Let's say like a lawyer or a doctor. When the doctor want to do some wealth management, do he supposed to spend time to learn about investment, or he should supposed to focus on his profession? I see there's no sense that people really are spending time on the things that is not their profession. They should focus on what they are good at and let the AI to serve them in the wealth management. And that's what we believe and what we try to deliver.
You're very right. Like I always understand as one thing always goes to an expert. So it's as simple as that. If you are medically ill, you look for a doctor. If you want to seek for legal advisor, you look for a lawyer. And of course, if I want to make my money work hard for me without monitoring, I look for a robo advisor. I look for pen type lah,
Exactly.
basically.
Yep.
Yeah. It's so interesting, and what you say is just so on point. Although if we talk about the high net worth individuals, too many people have the money but they don't have the time, and it only takes just one market, one bearish market, and they totally just lose their whole entire portfolio because the inadequate of when to take action to rebalance their portfolio, and of course for the working class people in general, there's also just no time at all because most of the times we spend our time in work, and especially right now, we have already gone back to normalcy. So,
Exactly.
Vicky, so what I'm hearing from Pen type is it's about bridging the wealth disparity, bridging the wealth distribution gap at the same time, and also allowing the working class people to able to access into the higher net worth individuals portfolio. Now, in your point of view, okay, how exactly Pen types were able to position its positioning to make a difference to this group of people? Things are muted. Vicky, you have to unmute yourself. Okay, well, through fixing the technical issues, Yong. So can I
Yep.
say that pen type is it's really about bridging. So one of your gift that I'm hearing this now. You want to bridge the wealth distribution gap. Could you explain more to the audience?
Yeah, I love to do that.
Sure.
Actually, how to say, we all have friends, and not all the friends actually are high net worth.
Yeah.
Some actually is actually working class, and they work very hard. But actually, when everyone actually when come to the need of the wealth management, everyone have the same need. No matter you actually are the high net worth or no matter you're working class, everyone actually are looking for a solution to grow their wealth. So how to say? But what is actually blocking the gap between the working class and the high net worth? The high net worth actually exposed to a lot of different investment opportunity. They can expose to high risk, high return. They can expose to low risk, low return. But working class people, what they're actually able to choose, they only can choose about mutual fund, saving, which offer them a low risk, low return method. And when they're willing to take some risk to grow their wealth faster, do they have any choice? The fact is they don't have much choice. And that is actually what we actually try to come in is actually we want to give people the choice on how they plan their wealth management. When they want to expose higher risk, there's a robo that come with more aggressive way. And when they want to expose to lower risk, there's also a robo come with a lower risk, more conservative return. And when they actually want to only focus on some region, let's say like US, or even focus on only sector, is there a solution for them? Why are you letting people to invest in something that they don't actually understand? If an
Yep.
engineer want to invest in technology, why can't we offer a robot that are good in technology stock? And that's actually the things that we try to offer.
Yeah, it gets to say, and as simple as that, but to actually just connect the dots, I'm sure, is that so complex? You're so right. I think most Malaysians, when I was an investment advisor, and a lot of working class people, all they could do is just to access, to mutual funds. Primarily, actually, to the Malaysians, they're able to access, to mutual funds, and of course, too often, they want to access to a certain markets, but they can't because even the upfront, capital requires a higher amount, and that only will give advantage, to the higher net worth individuals. And of course, most of the portfolios, that really give us a good investment returns, you really need, a certain amount, of minimums, to put in. Do we have, everything solved already on Vicky's side? Okay, so here is, I think, Yong, I want to ask you. Now, you have assembled Avengers team, with your vast experience in the investment arena. You have brought, the elites, to your team. Now, how did you able to do so?
Well,
How do
first
you
thing is
guys
actually
work
the core
together
value.
as a team to really push, this platform out?
Well, actually, the first thing is to form a team. There's two things is very important. And the first thing is actually the core value. And the second thing is a system. I actually believe what Jack Ma said. I personally very agree that no matter it's a team of 5 or team of 3, you need a system. And why system come before the core value? Is because system is actually the system actually is a way to show the core value. So the first thing that we do is actually when we form the team, the first thing that we do is actually we set a system. And that system is our KPI system. But we against KPI. We don't call it KPI, we call it business value point. And what is actually a business value point? In simple to say, is actually we are trying to form a culture that respect contribution, which means KPI is something more towards on a 1 year once. And then every year, then you start another new KPI. And that is the culture that I disagree. Because a company, a business is built continuously. It's a marathon. It's not like 1 year, 1 year, 1 year, then you can form a good company. So that's why I want my team member to really respect all the way the contribution. That's why we have this system that we call BVP, business value point. If we say an easier way to understand is a KPI that always sum up every year. So,
Hello.
hi Vicky.
Hello,
So
Vicky.
after we already, yeah. So after we form this BVP system, and what it actually significantly changed, it actually changed one very important thing is those who don't use to fully transparent, they don't feel they are attached to the culture. And after 1 or 2 months, those who actually respect other people's contribution and adopt the fully transparency team culture, they stay. And because everyone stay in the team already share a same understanding to the system, which actually represent the core value, this make our team actually very united. When team are very united, then the efficiency go up extremely high. And that is actually the things that I think in the team building that what we actually do very correct is in the first day, we build the team culture. After I know you actually do the startup before, right?
Yes, I did,
So I think
yes.
you actually can also share with the people about how you understand about team culture. In team culture, my personal opinion is team culture should come first because that is the company DNA. And what is actually your thoughts?
Now, you really just reminded me, how I spent as a months before I started establishing my own startup. Perhaps maybe I'm very Silicon Valley influenced, and all they do is always talk about the vision and the mission and the core values. I kind of agree, more with you when you mentioned about how important is, core values. When I first started as my startup, as my core values as well, mission first, people second, and individual third. And I think the mission is that you establish to your team, it's the BVP. And that gives a sustainability to your growth, to your company growth, to your team growth. And they see a long sustainability journeys with Pentype. And then, of course, as our team is second, when teams is being second, we always know that no man is an island, because it's impossible, for one individual person to try to make the magic, to happen. And here you are, curating that, that kind of cultures, that you really educate as empowers, your team. So yeah, you sound to me like you're a very visionary leader, with your vast experiences in the expertise that you have, as well as you were able to bring your teams to be a forefront, to become a homegrown leaders in the wealth management arena. With that,
Yeah.
Yong, kudos to that. Yeah, cheers to that. Yeah. Now I would like to hear from Vicky, since now Vicky is back to action, just to test us again. Yeah. Hello, Vicky.
Hi,
Oh, wonderful, crystal loud and clear.
Yeah,
I'm
financial.
back.
Perfect.
Yes,
Yeah.
your sweet voice. No worries, every event there are always technical issues. There are no technical issues means it's not an event. It's not a successful event.
That is right.
So here we are, guys, those who are watching, this is the realities, of event. The only difference is this is a live event. So there are things we just can't escape. So Vicky, you have a vast experience also as an entrepreneur. So you're a serial entrepreneur, at a tender age. And you have also achieved a certain feat. And of course, your roles, as a CMO, it's to enable us, to curate, design our products and making things as seamless as possible to really hit the market. Share with me, how has the journey been working, in Penta, and how are you going to materialize, Yong's vision?
I think I really started from having not too much knowledge, financial knowledge myself. But the thing is, what I was able to do was really help Mr. Young kind of shape what he wanted for his vision. So the number one thing what he wanted to do was really to give out society values. And what we found out was that a lot of people not only use data, but they also want the service. So how we shaped the platform was that we made it very easily understandable for people to look into the trading styles that they want, as well as the investment styles that they look for, as well as we look into really helping them have a very vast amount of choice to choose the duration as well as risk appetite for what they want. So I think for what my role in Pentype is really to shape out the aesthetics of Pentype.
Now you
Yeah,
have
Vicky really is
definitely
a
made
product creator.
investment as a very
Yeah.
sexy, I gotta say, from all the designs that I've seen so far, and also to all viewers, if you have been following Pentime, our CMOs, Vicky, were able to work her magical hands and brains to even make the Robo look sexy, and of course, when the Robo looks sexy, it will also able to give you some sweet, sexy, return investments, on a yearly basis at the same time. Now, Vicky, you are as a CMO, you have designed the product. Could you just walk us through on the product's interface, as well as some of the key highlights, and how product features were able to bring a vast benefits to their life?
Yeah, absolutely. So for our product, we have this 300,000 robo advisors. So the first thing when they enter the website is they will see what you can choose from. They can filter out the trading styles as well as the region. So I would want to really focus on, let's say, blockchain in China. Then I would find a Chinese region company, plus they would have the duration. So let's say they might be from short term to long term, as well as risk level. If you want something more aggressive, you would choose something that's growth level. So that would really generate at least 10% of the returns on the investments for what we find. And each robo, they're very specialized and expert in certain fields. So they're really built on just to follow that certain amount of investment. Yeah.
I think now probably let's just take a look at the screen, just for our audience attention. So to all who are watching, so let's feast our eyes on the screen, and Vicky's will quickly walk us through on some of the key highlights of the features, and also the interface of the product as well.
Sure.
Moving on.
Yeah.
So this is the concept for AI 2.0. So what we saw with Stashaway, MyTheo, so they are local competitors in Malaysia. And what we're building is 300,000 robo-advisors, but what they have is really more based on lifestyle kind of savings. So they don't really have the freedom of choice. But if we look on the next one, you will see, okay, this is where you're able to find out what suit the most and what strategy you would like to take, as well as what type of investment style you would want. And then moving on, we have all the different trading styles from trend following, growth stock, emerging to all the countries. So we cover at least 42 countries, as well as 97 to 197 different sectors and industry. So you can get a robo that's very much focused on value investing, dividend strategy. You will have the returns based on that. And you can see that this robot, they're actually investing in around 10 stocks. They focus on healthcare and they don't have really much a specific focus area, but they're able to generate returns that's tremendously well better than mutual funds. And if you were to look at gaming, and you're very optimum on gaming industry, so I think a lot of people, what they like is they participate in game, but they don't really have the chance to invest in the gaming industry. So what they can do with Pentype is that they can participate in the things that they love to in their daily life, as well as their lifestyle, and focus on investing in gaming and help them get the return the same as how they enjoy it in their daily life. And if you look closely, you can have cloud computing as well, because no one really uses USB right now. It's all on the cloud. Every data, all your photo albums is all stored on the cloud. So this is what it's on the trend as well. So what we focus is in Pentype that we include a lot of other trends too. And ethical investing is what those millennials would look forward into, because we love things that really gives us purpose, as well as we don't want to harm the environment. So ethical investing, such as no tobacco or alcohol, would be something that would more cater to the millennial. And as well as you can choose something from China, blockchain, that carries the intrinsic value. And you can see in the graph, there's a different amount of time showing different amount of returns. And this is the main bar where you are able to see your portfolio. So there's this good morning greeting as well, like good morning, Lila. And then you have your total assets, plus you can understand from here how many portfolio you have invested, how much you have invested, as well as your overall strategy on what is your investment and how much it has performed throughout your investment. So for users that are kind of skeptical to put in the money, we actually created this demo account to help them understand how the robo-advisor platform works. So the demo account, they will have $100,000, and they can really allocate in different robo funds and see how it performs before they really put in their own money. And then we built a social community as well inside to help them kind of review the robots and share the experience on how does it like investing with robots, as well as how easy it is to use, plus trending topics on different investment trends that they should have an outlook on. So this is how the review page looks like, pretty standard. If you can review your food, you can review your robots. And for our technology, we have been using cloud computing, which we would put up in AWS. And then we focus a lot on cybersecurity as well, because in the end, we're doing wealth management. So a lot of money and as well as KYC, it's kept in a very, very private and secure way. And this is all the data that we put in our AI before we generate all that projections.
Well, thanks, Vicky, for sharing. So, can I just conclude as one thing is, what you have just presented? I mean, you definitely really make wealth management investment so sexy. I remember the times that when I was an investment advisor, it was nothing as sexy as just what you have presented. I have to use the word sexy because I just love how the whole positioning is. So, Vicky, what I'm hearing from you right over here, assuming that I'm an investment idiot, as I have never invested, I've never put my money into any portfolios in my whole entire life to make my money work harder for me. All I need to do is just really going, to pen type platform, and then I pick, what is my investment goals, my investment tenure,
Yes.
my investment period, whether I would want to short term, mediums, and long. And then after that, whether I'm a risk averse or also aggressive as a risk taker, and voila, with that, or maybe the regions as well, which regions, I want to put in my money, and voila, I'll just let it, work like the systems that the Robo advisory system works. And then after that, by end of the years, I just happily, I sleep peacefully, most importantly, and I happily, just enjoy my returns. It's as simple
Exactly.
as that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
It's
Wow.
100% automated.
Wow. Okay. Okay. So here it is. For those who just tune in and for those who just join in, if you want to understand what really robot advisory means, robot advisory is a digital platform that consists of algorithm to curate your investment portfolio. And this investment portfolio is automatically designed for you according to your investment goal, your risk appetite, and very importantly, periodically also rebalances your portfolio according to the market situation. Did I learn that well? Did I just sum it up today?
Yeah, you summed it up perfectly.
Okay. All right. Okay. So yeah. So there you are. I'm learning something new. Now I saw the data, because I think more importantly, what people want to know really how accurate is these robots are. And I know that you have inserted a lot of data already. Just now, a very quick snapshot. I've seen that there's like 100,000, of markets. There's also cryptos, portfolios. There's 40 over, foreign currencies at the same time. Now, how has it been progressed? Yong, could you just share with us just highlight, on the progress to be where, pen type data integration is?
No, I'm happy that you asked this question because
Yeah.
we actually is in a very good progress. And then
Yeah,
it's
and I know
almost in
you are
the
very
last
data
step.
driven as well. You focus a
Yes.
lot on data.
Yeah,
It's all
I
about
mean, I'm
numbers for
purely
you.
a data guy, yes.
Yes,
So
you are.
actually, I would say that it's almost in the last step. And then the last final pieces is about set out the business flow. Not so much on technology. It's more towards on the fund logistic. And then,
Okay.
but I would also like to share a bit more on the technology. Okay. So actually, this is actually a combination between the investor and the technology. So in the trader world, we have a very common saying that is actually 1,000 trader will have 1,000 different trading style. And then you, as a financial analyst, last time, so you actually also know that in the investment manager, there is a common word say every client have different need, right?
Yes, of course,
And then
definitely.
yeah. So actually, this already hints us about where the AI should go to. The AI should go to fully personalized service need, and this is the key point. I thought really because how is it? This sentence already telling the public and the professional about which direction the technology should bring their client to serve them in the way that they serve the client in the future. And secondly, actually in my personal investment journey, I found something very interesting. Maybe you and me have the same vision, okay, on the same opinion on the trend. But maybe I make money and someone lose money. Even we have the same vision. Even the vision, both of us, their vision are correct. And why some are making money, some are not making money? That is because they don't have enough financial knowledge. They don't have enough investment experience. But what I found out is actually most of the time, everyone have the vision, and mostly they are right. Mostly everyone are right. But vision never able to make money for them. So can we actually use robo-advisor to provide technology to actually help people to really, they have a vision, they find the robo-advisor and the robo-advisor work for them. So that people don't need to go through all the I would say that very painful learning curve
Yeah.
Very, very
Yeah.
painful learning curve.
You know,
Yeah. So,
Yong, a lot of my investors are like successful investors, and they always say this
mhm,
is, there's a golden rule. Yeah, they probably spend multiple tens of thousands in order to just make a decent investment returns of 10, actually 8 to 12% as per annum. When I say multiple tens of thousands, and last time is Yong, if you could remember right, the tuition
mhm.
fees are very expensive as all these courses, and my
Oh,
clients, my investor will spend 10,000 just to learn on equity trading or stocks as analysis, understanding fundamentals and technical. But in the end, when they go back to reality after the course, they realize I also don't have enough time also. So they always lose
yep.
money. They have gained the knowledge of knowing how to
Mhm,
invest, but they don't
mhm.
have the time to rebalance. And I'll tell you, I'll even add on was what was even more difficulty levels at the time when I was an investment advisor.
Mhm.
We have to rebalance portfolio, and rebalancing portfolio was on a manual basis. Meaning last time is every time, okay, when market is goes bearish, and then after that I have
Mhm.
to rebalance back to income portfolio, or probably maybe more of a risk averse conservative portfolio. I have to meet the investor, and meeting the investor, it takes us like about between 7 to 10 days, and by the time ready, right, the market already is as deep as one of the lowest. And then you know
Yep.
who to be blamed? Me. Oh. But then after that, when I tell the investor, hey, I've been following up since like from the beginning, when the market is it's gonna go deep. So I think pen type, or don't say pen type, it's like, AI 2.0 is a robot advisory. It's really helping, it's really making a difference, in people's life. Although you don't have the knowledge of understanding, although you have the knowledge of knowing how to invest, but you may not have the times, to rebalance, on time. And I think,
Yeah.
boom, that really what makes us, the big difference.
Yeah. And one more small story to add on.
Yeah,
Of course, everyone will panic during the market have something happen. Everyone will panic. Of course,
yeah,
Robo will not panic. But one small story to add on. In the Wall Street, there's actually a very interesting saying. To train a good trader,
yeah.
the cost is $2 million. You must let the people lose $2 million, then only he can become a good trader.
Well, Malaysians can't afford then. Malaysians can't afford. Like, and I think
Mhm.
anywhere, tuition fees is like 50 to 100,000 to most
Yeah,
Malaysians is already like very painful already. Yeah.
yeah. But this actually just represent how difficult it's actually to really go into the investment to be a continuously profitable trader. And we really deeply from our heart that we hope that we are coming to the AI era. Something should change. Really
Yeah.
deeply from our heart, I really hope this is happening.
Yeah, I mean, the robot advisory, I mean, to those who are complete news, the robot advisory allowed me to enlighten you. Robo advisors has already been around, actually for years. It's a very talk about, topic is in wealth management, in developed nations like Hong Kong, like US, and also so we have seen trends, has also been escalating, in Singapore over the last 2 years, and Malaysia is also not too far, away. So I think it really making a big impact, massive impact to people,
Yeah.
and more importantly is the general working class. So as what
Mhm.
as what Vicky was sharing the concept earlier, they started Robo Advisory started with artificial intelligence 1.0, but right now we are introducing AI 2.0 with a 300,000 plus as a robot advisors, and I bear you imagine this, remember this, that robots get smarter as the system goes by, so, as longer it is, the robot is are capturing more data. They understanding the market better. They even understand you as an investor, as a client way better. But when it comes to humans, I'm not saying humans are better or less better than robots, but humans are moved with emotions. We always have
Yeah.
psychological emotions. And of course,
Yeah.
to all seasons investors, you know this very well. There's a greed, there's a hope, and also there's a fear at the same time. And too
Yeah.
often, because of the psychological emotions of human beings, that's where the human errors take place, even giving the best
Exactly.
expert as well. Yeah.
Just
So
personally sharing, I used 6 years to eliminate the emotion
I can
during come to
imagine
investment.
that. I can imagine
Yeah.
that. Yeah, because and I think that it's so subjective. at one point of time, I was so curious as understanding why human psychological. I mean, Warren Buffett, has talked about value investing, before, but all those are theories, all those are always concepts, But I'm always very keen, to understand about the psychologicals, of investors. How does great hope and fears, it becomes as the pivotal positionings, to make a difference in an investment portfolio. Now, I'm very particularly keen because that's now what I've mentioned is now there are already few players as I have already landed as our locals, shore. Of course, as we have the very big hype as of stashes away have also recently made headlines as of raising up 20 million American dollars. They have incorporated in Malaysia in the year of 2018. And last year, we have also seen as a MyTeo and also Wahat as invest. And this year, also we have also some new players as joining in as well. So yes, I know that this is growing, escalating very fast, progressing very fast as in other foreign countries. But in Malaysia, how does Pentype set as a competitive advantage as than the rest of the competitors?
Well, first thing actually, they actually just only offer one robo advisor. They are mostly based on
Okay.
the modern portfolio theory and offer only one choice. They don't really have the personalized service because the AI 1.0 is really allocated asset, but AI 2.0 is personalized wealth management, and which is what actually we are building. And in fact, actually, I don't really sure that should we see them as a competitor, but the way I see it is actually Stashaway is actually a Singapore base, so I'm not sure should we call it a local or not.
Okay.
MyTeo is a MyTeo is a joint venture between Malaysia and Japan, and in the same time, Wahat is actually a US company,
Oh,
and
okay.
Pentype is actually a Malaysia local homegrown robo advisor. And just to share that, I come up from another startup called Synergy. They are one of the company who get the license from SC as a digital asset exchange. And in the three license that the SC issue, Synergy is the only company that are homegrown, and the rest are actually a foreign company. And so maybe the history repeat. Pentype is actually might be one of the homegrown robo advisor in Malaysia. So yeah, we have competitor maybe because it seems like it's like we offer the same thing, but actually we don't really focus uh, how to say to compete with them because what we actually are targeting is we actually are targeting to offer a global service. We are actually not targeting to offer only in a certain region because what we believe is technology have no border,
Yeah.
especially when it comes to investment. It's actually something that is a global need.
Yeah.
So yeah, so actually, uh, I myself I would say that personalized is a very important thing. It's not just asset allocation. Most of them they allocate in the ETF. But for us, our technology are really making investment decision to the investment opportunity and decide when to hold the cash and when to invest. Unlike just allocate to ETF, a very common question when people actually ask us when we answer, and very commonly they told us, yeah, you are extremely right. You are extremely right. Just ETF, I can buy myself. Why I need to go through them? This is the common things that after I answer, they actually come back to me. So the answer is actually our technology is really analyzing and making investment decision in investment instead of just asset allocation on asset.
So the positioning is, the technology as borderless. It has as a diversified, of various portfolios as compared, to other players as are focusing into more niche. And because as you believe that technology is borderless, that's why it involves an entire, global, macro economics and portfolios as well. Vicky, is there anything that you want to add on, on this,
I
on
think
the
what Yong
competition
said
level?
is very true. But at the same time, we can kind of look at investment alternatives as well. So if the users were to go to the stock market and participate themselves, they would need at least 25,000 or like 100,000 to start trading in stock markets, and it's not that easy to really go into different kind of markets to trade as well because there's a lot of tools that they need to learn as well as a lot of information that they need to learn. So I think for us having all these competition, we're not really looking them, as said with Young, we're not really looking them as a competition, but it's really to get all these crowd going online for their digital investments. So we see them as someone that's healthy for to really build this digital norm.
Now you're talking
Yeah.
about really helping people, out there. We have heard already, it's pen type. It's also positioning, to impact the social well-being, of many people out there. Now I think to all our viewers and friends of pen type, or followers and pen type, who also just join us at the same time. Now probably I open up, this question to either one of you, to both, or either one of you or both of you. Now, how does pen type serve the general working class people who have limited access to the high net worth individual portfolios, while they only
So
can access
Let me
to
take it.
stocks, equities, mutual funds, and of course a lot of people are still believers in fixed
yeah,
deposit. Yeah, and fixed deposit. Okay, if I use Rule 72. I mean, you guys know Rule 72, right? It tells you, how fast is able to double up your money. So if it's going to be 4%, meaning that on fixed deposit, it takes me, how many years? 18 years to double up my money.
yeah,
4%, it takes 18 years to double up my money, guys. If it's 3%, then it takes 24 years. Yeah, so
yeah.
I think that really makes a big difference. And because a lot of people also believe that, they can retire, through EPF or CPF to any Singaporeans. But the reality is, it only takes us, about 3 years, for a person to fully rely, on EPF before, their money completely wipe out. So I guess
They
this is the part
cannot
that where,
beat the inflation.
yes, they
Yeah.
can never
They
beat the
cannot beat the
inflation.
inflation.
Yeah. So please, address this, how pen types were able to make a big difference, major difference to everybody who's watching right now.
So for us, we start from giving minimum deposit. So they don't really have any minimum deposit when they invest. So they can just invest as low as $100. And most of our robos, they are generating safe returns for above 10%. So I think that itself already tells a lot on putting your money in the fixed deposit or putting your money in robo advisors. But obviously, I can't really say that it's 100% returns that they're going to get, because every single investment has their own risk. So it really depends on how they play with the tool, how they understand how to use it, as well as what kind of habits that they're putting. So if they were to continuously put money every single month, but just a small fraction uh, of their of their salary, then it would really make a huge difference within the next 2 to 3 years, from compared to traditional investing methods.
Yong, is there anything to add on as what Vicky is said?
Yeah, actually, I also would like to add on because
Yeah.
how to say, what we actually position ourselves is actually to, just like what Ricky said, is really to offer a alternative option. And we strongly against anyone put us as the only option. We strongly against that, because what we actually offer is we offer 300,000 different types of robo advisor, which cover high risk, high return, low risk, low return, and different specialists in different field. So what we actually hope to see is the people who actually in the, let's say, like engineering, or the, like you are in finance, you might have some concept in the finance, and then someone who actually have very good in F&B, they actually have some their personal view in the F&B, and they want to invest with their vision. They believe their vision can bring them extraordinary return. And that is where we want our robot to serve them, to eliminate them, to reduce their time spending when come to the making investment decision. So when, let's say, like I myself is very expert in finance and technology, so I myself are looking good at cloud computing. So I can choose myself that I want to take a high risk, high return robot, or I should take a low risk, low return robot in the cloud computing. I myself, maybe I prefer to allocate a small portion in the cloud computing, but with a high risk, high return strategy. So what we actually really focus ourselves is actually on let people vision able to make money for them. That's actually what we focus at. We
Wow,
focus
you're
on the
turning
vision of
dreams
the
into reality.
Yeah.
while everyone is just busily hustling, busily grinding in their life, with their daily life, and as much as they know, that their money should be working harder for them, but because of limited time, limited access, limited knowledge, pen type is really truly solve everything. Now, Yong and Vicky, let's talk about collaboration and partnership. I think that's also very important. Now, how do you see or how do you anticipate that pen type has done so far to be serving, first the working class people, which you have already shared this now, the high net worth individuals, as well as the people in the financial industry too, like the fund managers, the brokers, the independent financial advisors, or the financial consultants. Do you see there's a synergy or partnership with this people in the financial industry?
I think for partnerships, we definitely look into B2B partnerships because we're able to help them analyze all these stock data, automating their investments, while they can really focus on um, serving their clients. So I think for us, we definitely work with all these B2B partnerships, as well as we have secured our own partnership with Green Pro Capital. So they're actually a multinational company in Hong Kong that has been doing financial services for around the world in Malaysia, China, as well as Thailand. And they just recently acquired digital exchange in Philippines. So it's something like that that we're looking onwards. And then B2B partnerships, we can add on a lot more services as well, not just based on stocks, but slowly we can introduce, all these e-payments, as well as all these P2P lending. So yeah, that's about it.
Now we hear from the B2B is that what about the B2C is Yong? What about working with the people, the private bankers and also the FM as well, the fund managers too? Do you see
Yeah, definitely.
there's any
Because our goal is,
potential? Yeah.
yeah, definitely. Because our goal is actually to be a technology offer person. I mean, a technology offer company. And then just like how we actually partner with our partner is actually they should take care of compliance and we take care of the technology. And then in long run, of course, we target to be a financial institution. But what they actually looking at is actually we are looking at the technology which can serve people easier. So which means that the FM fund manager, they actually can actually to reduce their workload by helping them to actually reduce some of the repeat work. 70% of the repeat work actually is meaningless. Example, let's say like a basic fundamental analysis for a company, let's say IBM. Okay, if there is 10,000 analysis, 10,000 analysts are doing the repeat work. And all these things actually are not necessary. With the Robo Advisor, a lot of things can be reduced. People can purely to come into the investment advice. I mean, real investment advice, not repeatable work. People can really come into the industry overview. People can really come into the how the company actually are performing instead of really go into 70%. I think it's 70% really is all repeat work. So all these things is actually making the people only because human have limited time. The reason that why fund manager only like to serve high net worth is because they have limited time. So they want to maximize their time to generate the highest income for themselves, right? But actually with the help of Robo, they actually can unlock their time to actually really to provide a better service to society, even in the proper financial planning, in the industry overview and everything. So I would say that what we're actually looking for is really a cooperation with the different uh, people in the financial industry and different institutions in the financial industry.
Great. So, you already have a game plan, really, from both, B2B and a B2C, aspect. I mean, as what Vicky have mentioned, they have already, secured, Hong Kong Green Pro.
Yep.
Yeah, that the licensing, and also lately, they have also acquired, a digital licenses, in Philippines as well. And of course, there's a lot of exciting news that's taking place over there as those, who have skepticisms, towards, whether it's this regulated, this license. First and foremost, they're already on ECF, which they are already governed as under Securities Commission. So they already have done, a proper due diligence, in order for them even to appear, right over here, to
Yeah.
be listed, on the ECF. And of course, they have gone extra mile also to become as a global players, they really found the proper licensing. And as what
Yeah.
Yong also has said earlier, that we'll be working very closely together with the fund managers, asset managers, as private bankers, financial advisors, and they come together as how they were able to solve using technology and able to complement whatever existing portfolios are out there.
Yeah.
Very regulated, very strictly in compliance. Okay, so now
Honestly, it's a very
comes
long journey. Yeah.
yeah,
Honestly,
so
it's a
much of
very long
compliance. I
journey.
can
Yeah.
imagine that. Yeah, and of course, all
Yeah.
the data you have. This is just not plucked from the sky, just overnight, and to achieve is where it is. Now, very important question, Yongs, and Vicky. What is the game plan for the next 1 year, 3 years, and 5 years? I mean, you really have an Avengers team already. You guys are already, to hit the market and becomes, a market leader, probably what in Asia, in the world. Okay, let's talk about Asia, lah. Probably that I believe that's your big goal, yeah. But do share, so with all of us, yeah.
Okay, you want to take this question?
Sure, sure,
Yeah.
She's
absolutely.
already,
So
yeah.
our game plan Pentype is really starting to launch this Robo platform first by Q4 2020. And next year, what we're looking into is we will be going to go public for our company as well as get listed in main board too. So we're more transparent overall on how we are in Pentype, and most of the service that we are going to provide will be targeting on the Asian countries first. So let's say countries like Hong Kong, Japan, Taiwan, and Malaysia. And then we will slowly expand into more a global brand that people would think about when they do online investments. So what we want to do is be the best brand and most preferred brand for online investments by 2025, globally speaking.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's really slowly expanding to other kinds of services as well as offering it to as much as people as possible with the minimum amount of charges as well as costs.
In simple to say, when people think about robo-advisor, Pentype, then our brand is global.
That's right. I love that. It's like when you think about robo advisory, you think about how hard money can work harder for you while you are busy living your life, be it whether it's your personal work. Robo advisory will get the job done for you, and most importantly, to sleep peacefully with regulation compliance all ready and set up for you. Now. So much of excitement, as I gotta say. Like, I think to those who have knowledge in robot advisory, there's no reasons for them not to jump on the boat on Pentypes to really get things started. And for those who don't understand what robot advisory 55 minutes ago, probably now that will give them some tinklings, some interest to take on the next actions, because hey, I really have no time. Hey, I really don't have investment knowledge, and I'm not going to pay I'm not going to pay few of the 10,000 just for my tuition fees, and then finally then only I can make some decent return of investment. Now, guys, do share. So how can one start their journey with Pentype?
I think Yong can take this question.
Okay, sure. So actually, you see, you are a professional author, and I'm
Yeah.
also a professional. You know that we all used to one thing is actually we all look at a very complicated user interface. The
Yeah.
whole screen are all data. But do
Yeah.
you think that actually really helping people? No, I
No,
don't
not
think
at
so.
all.
Vicky don't think so. Yeah, you also don't think so.
Of course.
So that means that what we actually should make it is actually make it into a extremely, extremely, extremely simple tools, and behind it can be very complicated. The whole AI actually is running to work for you, but actually when user using it, it's supposed to be a very, very, very simple. There are only three steps: download the apps, choose the robo advisor,
Yeah.
deposit the money, and the robo advisor start working for you. It's supposed
Okay,
to be
you're talking
simple
about
until
now
this.
deposit the money right now. So everybody wants to be very anxious, to know, what's next. So let's take a look, how can people, now taking the next action plans, for those who are watching, be it whether on Facebook, and Zoom. Let's take a look. And Yong,
Yep. Okay. So
so
for
Robo.
okay, so first thing is actually this product is planning to launch at quarter four. So now currently what we actually are doing is we are doing set up the whole business flow. And then from here, actually, we will actually also set up all the trust account, trustee the client trustee account, the investment pool and everything. So, and also the technology to link up everything to the user interface. And then from here, then everything, if everything was very smoothly, then at the Q4, then we will officially launch. And then can we go to the next slide, please? Yeah. So currently what we actually are doing now in this June, what we actually want to complete is a first round of fundraising. And we actually are very proud that the ECF approved us to list it, to run the fundraising through them, because what they actually told us is they think that we are in the fintech, and then it's definitely met the innovation industry criteria. And this ECF actually is also will auto convert to the IPO share. So which means that in the ECF history, this might be the first time that ECF already have a exit plan that we were actually trying to target the IPO in the next year. And then so which means that it will actually convert to IPO. And this is actually what we actually excited about, because we actually are trying to change something. ECF equal to pre-IPO. This actually we try to bring this kind of model to the to the society. And then this campaign definitely will close at June, because we are very timeline person. We will definitely close at June. And then it actually run by the Corporate Asia. And then our financial team or corporate advisor is actually Green Pro Capital. And then can we go to the next slide, please? Yeah, and this is actually the package that we offer. So we offer the minimum starter package is only 3,120. Some people was telling me that this is a very low entry barrier, and exactly that is our purpose. We want to offer, you see, no matter it's a product or no matter it's a fundraising, what we actually always trying to do is we're trying to able to let public to participate in something that are difficult to participate before. So we actually offer we was actually to advise to put it higher as a starter package, but we actually also insist to put it as low as possible. So that's why it actually starter package is 3,000. And then of course and then followed by 6,000, 12,000, and 24,000. And of course you can, if you want to, you can invest above 24,000. But I personally will always suggest that don't gamble. Don't because of the how's it, something overwhelming, then don't gamble. Always invest with a capable. And then if the IPO really happen, then what we can actually expect to deliver to the investor is actually around a 3 times return. And then the estimate to happen in the next year, auto convert to IPO share. But if it doesn't happen, then it's a 10% dividend, 10% dividend or interest per year for maturity of 3 years. So that means that investor can choose to convert to common share or redeem back the capital after the 3 years. So can we go to the next slide, please? Yeah, and I personally, I don't know how you think, Arthur, and I personally like this design a lot. I personally really like this design because
The
it really is
robots?
actually, yeah, robots.
Yes,
Because
actually,
this
it looks
robot,
very relevant and relatable. As I said, I like how our CMO Vicky had really made wealth management not boring at all.
yeah, this is actually really something that missing in the finance. Finance is too boring. All these 20 years. Sorry to say
Okay,
that.
it is.
Okay, and then let me a little bit elaborate on the logo, the
Yep.
meaning of the logo. So you see, you notice that the logo is a combination of a wing and a horse, right? So it actually is a very similar concept with the China Tesla, the Neo. Okay, the Neo is actually formed by vision and mission. Two, the logo is on top is vision, on bottom is mission, and our concept actually very similar with them. Wing represents something, a vision, because the vision you have to fly there, then only is a vision. If the vision are too close to happen, then it's not really a vision. Vision is a for definitely to achieve a vision is not easy. That is definitely. So we need the wing to fly us there. But if we have a wing to fly us to vision, but we without a hardworking execution, that is completely meaningless. So that's why the horse actually represent that never stop running, never stop executing, never stop working on the mission. So the whole meaning of this thing is actually the traditional institution never stop working, and with the help of technology, able to fly to the vision, for able to fly to the fintech industry. So that is the meaning of this logo. And how do you think? Well, this sounds a bit too romantic.
I love it so. I love it so much because it's just so relevant and relatable. A person is an investor, or a
Mhm.
person is running a business, they truly understand where you're coming from, and also I think more importantly, more significantly, that you have actually put really deep thoughts into it and to bring where Pentype is. Even a logo, I don't know whether is it because as a young you're a data driven person, but you meticulously you are so detailed that whereas even the logo has a true meanings behind it.
Well, let me share you a small secret. My
Sure.
parent is artist. Both of my parents is artists.
No wonder you have the hybrid combinations of the data part. You don't analyze until you paralyze too much, but that's where your
Mhm.
creativity comes in. And of course, as a Vicky, creativity also amplifies the entire fun part of it. So there you are, ladies and gents, to all viewers, who are watching on Facebook, and Zoom. Firstly, I would like to congratulate, to Pentype, team. To finally able to be listed, on ECF. It's really not easy, to be listed, on ECF platforms, where they are on Crowd Plus, because I've gone through, the whole process. Your due diligence will take for months,
Wow.
and of course,
Mhm.
because they are fintech, so it's just not, Tom, Dick, and Harry players were able to be regulated, governed, by ECF. As you all know, ECF also, has the responsibilities, major responsibility to be accountable, to Securities Commission. And when it comes to Securities Commission, that's where all the compliance and all the regulations is. As you get to see that right now, on the banner, yes, as they are on the ECF campaign. Can we shout out? I know there's some good news also on the ECF campaign that you guys almost already reached a certain goals already. Can we share that?
Yeah,
You,
I'm
you
not
want to share?
very sure because it's
Okay. Anyway,
haven't. But
there are
yeah,
some positive news. That they have worked hard. And they are seeing the results. So it's going according to the timeline. As
yeah.
the ECF campaigns will be closing on the 25th June. Now,
Mhm.
viewers and to all friends if you want to speak to them personally, you are able to reach out to Vicky. And also Yong, as you get to see, their emails and their mobile numbers is flashed on the screens right now. If you have missed, of also scanning the QR code, you could go to look for them on Facebook, Pentype. Pentype is official, SPENTAIP. And if you are keen to be checking out, on the Crowd Plus, on the existence on Crowd Plus page, and that's the links that flash on the screen. Or you can also Google search Pentype Crowd Plus, and they're able to direct you, to the page. Now, viewers, as I have repeatedly said, many times a robot advisory curates your investment portfolio according to your needs. And to even begin with, just now, at 10% per annum and maturities for the next 3 years, and with their goals of going to IPOs next year, with a starting capitals of 3,000, 6,000, 12,000, and 24,000 plus. Okay, at any comfort levels that you want to go in and to give a try. Guys, that this is your opportunity. I always believe one thing: it only takes a choice whether you want to take the first move. And for you to have made a decision to be staying with us for the last 1 hour, you have to make a right choice to be with us rather than doing something that what you should be doing. And certainly you have already adopted a first mover advantage. And here you are, it's an opportunity for you. You need not to invest immediately, but do reach out to them for any questions. You can reach out to them and to get all your questions to be answered by them. And if you like what they have told you, if you like what they have shared you, and you do like what they have advised you, then I guess there's just no harms, for you to take the next action. So with that, ladies and gents, to all Facebook and Zoom viewers, once again, I thank you, for joining us for the last 1 hour of the pen type, of ECF as a campaign launch. This is episode 2, and we shall see you, for the next episode. With that, Yong, thank you so much. Vicky, thank you very much for joining us. This has been a wonderful session, and with that, enjoy the rest of the week. Thank you. See you.
Thank you, and thanks for a nice stay until now. Thank you.
See
Bye.
ya.
Bye.